Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting. I appreciate you being here at the channel today. And for you folks that have not yet done so, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate it. And if you find the content that I provide beneficial, please hit that like button as well. Now, our topic for you today is how to reduce the acquisition cost for new members. Okay, we're talking about, your sales acquisition cost. Okay, are you monitoring, your sales acquisition cost? If you're not, you want to. I'll give you a quick example before I jump into this. But we were talking to a group recently, and we're talking about some of their marketing of what they were doing, and they were just very happy with it. Okay, and it was producing great results. We're signing people up, and that's fantastic. And I said, great. Hey, what's our acquisition cost? For each person that we're signing up. And they figure it up, and it sounded pretty good. And we start looking at it, and I say, well, are you including, your salesperson? The wage you pay your salesperson, the bonuses, the commissions, all the advertising cost, everything that's associated with everything in there. And they go, oh, I guess it's not. Okay, and it turns out their actual acquisition cost was double what they thought it was. And I think as we started looking through it, it was to the point that when they signed somebody up, they really weren't making money until month number 4. So it is easy to see why the business was sputtering and not doing as well as they wanted. But they thought they were doing pretty well because, hey, well, the advertising is working. It must be something else. Their acquisition cost was way too high. Okay, so know what is your acquisition cost. What does it cost you to get a new member? What does it cost you to get a new member? Okay, now let's talk about how we improve that. Well, the first thing is your conversion rate. Do you know your closing percentage? Is it 50%? Is it 40%? What if we could improve it by 10%? What if we could improve it by 20%? How would that change your acquisition cost? Well, I can tell you it would change it significantly. Okay, so first thing, know your acquisition cost, really drill down on that, and then look at your conversion rate. What is your closing rate on these folks? And understand it. Don't just guess what it is. Okay, usually when we guess, it's never going to be as good as we think it is. Okay, what is your conversion rate? If it's not where it needs to be, get some sales training. Okay, watch some of these videos. Our entire channel is geared toward how to and training you how to do so much of this. So let's improve our conversion rate. It's one of the very first things you can do. Okay, and in some ways, it's the simplest thing you can do. Number 2, start utilizing automation. Start utilizing automation. It reduces, the human that needs to input all this and the human that needs to do all this. When it comes to all of your marketing, even some of the sales part of this, the more you can automate this, the better, for the single purpose of reducing cost. Now, don't over-automate it to the point you take the human element out. Okay, the human element has to stay in there, otherwise it's going to be difficult, to get these conversion rates up. But automate as much as you can. This is going to help you, lower a lot of cost on this. I mean, just simply an email blast. If you have 5,000 email addresses, you put a post in, you hit the button, out it goes. It's virtually nothing, at that point. Okay, so automate as much as you can across the board. Number 3, improve member retention. Improve member retention. The longer you can keep these folks, the better. Okay, and I can tell you this. Here's what I see is clubs will spend a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, okay, in getting someone signed up. And they sign them up and immediately make them a free agent. In other words, it's month-to-month agreement, and you can leave. And what if your acquisition cost? What if it's $200? And what if your monthly dues are $100, or say they're $50, and the customer leaves in a couple months? You've lost money on that customer. Okay, so first thing, let's look at member retention. Let's get strategies in place to improve that. Okay, I talked to a lot of clubs that are at 6% a month, 5% a month. These are big numbers. I mean, 4% a month means you're losing half your members every year. Do you know what your attrition rates are? If you don't, you want to find out. Okay, this can make a dramatic impact. And the second thing is kind of tailing on that, is let's have all of our customers bring in their friends. Let's really get a strong referral campaign. Because here's the thing, a referral campaign, for the most part, is not going to cost a lot, right? And in some cases, you can actually cut your acquisition cost in half if you just kind of did the math and said, hey, I signed up 100 people, all 100 people brought me one more person, as an example. It's going to cut your acquisition cost in half. Okay, so retain who we have a real strong referral campaign. Okay, now kind of to close this up a little bit, this is just scratching the surface on this. Okay, you want to start understanding how do your costs look and decisions that impact us every day. I'll give you one final thing. Let me grab a calculator and let's just talk for a second. Let's say you sign somebody up and it's going to cost you, say it's going to cost you $200 as an acquisition cost. Okay, I talked to a lot of folks, that's what it costs. Okay, you sign them up and it's $50 a month, and they're going to be on a month-to-month program. They can cancel in 30 days. Okay, well, essentially they owe you $50, right? That's what that's going to be. Just what if that same customer, I'll just use simple numbers here. There's a lot of things we could talk about here, but say it was on a 12-month commitment, as an example. That same customer cost $200 to get them, 12-month commitment, they now owe you $600. What if it was a 24-month commitment? That same customer now owes you $1,200. So when you think about this, you're thinking about acquisition costs and how all this kind of plays into all these decisions that we make. It's costing me $200 to bring somebody in. I sign them up on a month-to-month program at $50, as an example. 30-day notice to quit. They can leave whenever they want, basically, and they owe me $50 at any one time. They sign up on a 12-month program, they owe me $600. 24-month program, they owe me $1,200. And then what if we got that same person to bring in a friend that did the same thing? So we're going to drive our cost in half, and if you have them on 24 months, that's $2,400. There's a big difference here. Start looking at some of those numbers. Do the math on this. And there's right ways and wrong ways to do this. And certainly we want to do things that are enticing and things that our customer wants to do as well. And how can we benefit them, get the results they're looking for. So a lot of things that tie into this, but really do the math on this and take the time to understand your numbers. So folks, my name is Jim Thomas. My company is Fitness Management and Consulting. Appreciate you being here at the channel today, and we'll look forward to talking to y'all on that next video.